If you want to add some depth like this to an image in Affinity Photo, you can do it very easily by using a feature called Apply Image. I'm just going to show you how. This is for PC or Mac. First thing, let's just go back to the original image. So you've got this, it's got no depth in it at all. But if you want to turn it into maybe a sort of looks like it's been painted, well, you can do this approach. Just go over here and with the layers panel, right click and duplicate. Keep the original as well. So you've got the original one there and you got this one. Now I'm going to be using this one. All you need to do then is go to filters and down to apply image. It's just here, apply image. And you can do a lot of different things with this. This is a great feature with loads of things like load source from files. So you could bring in some textures as well. Don't have to use just this image. But you can also use current layer as source. And that's just what I'm going to do. So use current layer as source. So just click it. And now you'll notice no change at all. Well, you can go here to blending mode. You can go through this and you will see what happens. It blends it. You can see it just changes as you go through that. You could change opacity as well. But there's also another great option here, equations. So click that. So that's turned on now. And you can see then you've got these options, RGB grayscale, so you can just rapidly change it to grayscale. But also with RGB, you'll notice at the bottom, you've got DA equals SA. That's using the alpha channel. So simply just go here and instead of using SA, you can use SR, maybe plus SG, and that adds the green and the red pixels as the alpha channel. And you can then maybe just divide it. So bracket divided by 2. Now you could do, of course, any number of combinations of these, maybe 0.3 times SG, etc. But I'm just going to divide by 2 now. So you can just do very basic maths, but you could maybe include the SB as well and then divide by 3. Well, now just click apply. And again, not really much changes. In fact, nothing visually changes. But you can see if you go over here to layers, you'll see now you've got a slightly different background. But you can also then go to effects, just down the bottom here. So click effects. Now you can do this, of course, in many other ways, but this is using the apply image. And it can be used, as mentioned, with lots and lots of other images as well, not just the image itself. So you can combine images with sort of that depth as well. Okay, now here you could go for 3D, but I'm just going to go with Bevel emboss. And I'm just going to change the radius. And you can see as you do that, you'll see the result. You can see that gives a bit of depth to the image. Well, what you can also do is you can go here to soften, you can go to profile, and you can vary it. You see, go profile, click there, standard profile, and so on. So you can create some very interesting, and you can also modify this as well. You don't have to keep it, so you can just change it. You can see as you change that, you get a variety of different designs. Now it's uniform, of course, over the entire image. You can't have one style one side and maybe another style on the other side. But okay, now with this, you could obviously tweak it a bit more with, say, 3D as well. And there's other options here as well. With this, I can now close. And you can see I've got this lovely 3D depth image, very quickly produced. And then I can just go layer. And then, of course, I can merge visible or merge down. So it all gets merged into a single image. Might subtly change. So you might prefer just to keep it just on another level, another layer. Now you could, of course, go back. Let's just go back. And I'm just going to go back to the state before. Let's just remove this, makes it even clearer. So just remove it. And you can then right click again, duplicate. So you've got 2 layers. Now you could, of course, create other layers, maybe with different effects. So you could like blur that image. So not just having it the same, you could just go there. No, don't have to visually see it. I can just simply go to filters as long as it's selected. So filter, blur and Gaussian blur, and just apply a bit of blur. Maybe not 61, maybe go for say 10 or 11. and click apply. And if you want to see it, that's the result. Just a subtle blur, just a subtle change. And now with this, you can still combine it. You could just go over here and just run through here, and you can see that creates some interesting changes as well. But exact same as before, you can now go to filters, apply image. Now, sadly, apply image is not available in the live effects. I do not know why. It would be really nice if it was available there, but for some weird reason, it's not. And that's in the layer menu. So it's just one of those weird things that they've left off for some weird reason. Use current layer source. I'm just going to use that. So click that again. Equations, exactly the same as before. And also you've got here blend mode, so you can go through blend mode. So maybe you might go for overlay, say. You can see just creates a slightly different result there. But again, you can go here and use equations. You've got that turned on. That's the key thing just there. SA. And instead of that, you could use SA, of course, as well. Perfectly reasonable. Got nothing in it. But if you did have something in it, then it could use it. But let's just go for SR times 0.2, so you could just lessen the result of the SR, plus maybe SB this time. I'm just going to go for SB times 0.6. So you can just tweak them slightly. See a different result again. So let's just click apply. So it processes it. It says there apply image. Takes a few seconds to do it. And again, you can see you've got a different result over here in the layers. Exactly the same before. Click effects. So click effects down the bottom. And in here, you've got other options. You've got bevel emboss. You've got emboss. Why not use that? Try that. And then just change the radius there. And you can see straight away you've got effect. I'm pushing it up quite high. Soften, you can vary all these things, profiles. And you can see, again, you can just use different ones. Maybe go for outer instead. Just try different options here. You might prefer one to another one. I'm going to go with maybe inner. And then you can change direction. You can see as you change that. Again, soften. You can just tweak that just to create a nice softer look to this depth. And also you've got other settings here as well. But let's just close. And you can see now you've got this depth to the image. And of course you could, say, combine multiple ones of these. So you don't have to just have this one. You can again right click, duplicate. Got that, so you've got two now. You can see just even then, just by just adding that, you've added them. But now what you can do, just click there, click the effects. That's all you need to do to modify it. And then you can go here to bevel emboss and just tweak it just slightly. This is independent of the other one. So you can just change it, change the direction, and you can combine them. And click close. And you can, of course, go over here, change blend modes, different options there for combining them, overlay, etc. This one, maybe go for different one there. You could also, of course, select one, maybe just shift it slightly, just create some interesting combinations, but just a subtle movement that still follows the original image design. But now you've got a slightly more unusual 3D. And you could, of course, use this if you combine it all into a single layer, duplicate that, and do exactly the same steps to create some additional designs. Maybe combine it with masks and so on. There's a lot of possible combinations. So let's just go back now to the original image. So we'll just get rid of all these. Let's go back all the way through, and we're back to this original image. Say you want to add another image. Don't have to use this image. Again, you could use a blurred effect, but you can also, you could see that apply option there where it says use another image. You can always go to filters and apply image. Now let's just duplicate this. You don't have to duplicate it. It's just nice to combine it, I think. But you can duplicate this again, use this one, filters, apply image, and now go over here and load source from file. And I'm just going to click one. I have no idea what I'm going to click, which one, because I've got quite a few images here. Let's just go for some chocolates. Just put some chocolates into it. Click open. Right. And now with this, you can see no difference whatsoever. But again, if you go equations, and now just go here, and you can tweak it SR times 2. You can do that. And then maybe go down here to SA again times, let's go for SR again. Now you could use the DR as well. So if you want, just go with DR. And so you get that result, or SR, up to you. Subtle difference, because of course the DR is changed by this SR here. It's the key thing to remember. And again, you can then maybe times SG, combine that and then divide by 2, and so on. You can just do all kind of, maybe I'll go with that one. There's a load of combinations you can do with this, not just obviously SR plus SR, maybe divided by SG, SR minus SG, and so on. Okay, so you've got this. Again, change blend modes if you want. You can see you can change that. Hard light. I'm just going to go with normal, but click apply. Exactly the same before, takes a bit of time to process it, but now you can see you've got this, obviously these sweets in here, these chocolates. However, one feature that would be really nice would be a resize feature, a scale feature within this. So you could scale it or zoom it in. I'm not certain why that was not included there. It would have made it, as well as a rotate feature. But unfortunately, that's not available. Okay, workaround about that, if you want to do it, of course, is just do it using the pattern layers. Just use pattern layer, create a pattern design, and then use that by resizing that, of course, and then bringing that in. That's a workaround. Exact same before, go to effects, click there, and now bevel emboss. And you can see now the result is beveled there. Obviously, it's not the same as it was before because it's not the paint brushes. It's now we've got the chocolates. That layer is being modified. And you can then go here, you've got outline, you've got Gauss, and so on. But let's just go with ours to say, and then soften, change profile, like that. You can see that. Sometimes you don't have to. I always sometimes prefer just without the profile. And then click close. But you've got that depth now. And this could be used not just obviously with that image with chocolates. You could use it with different textures you could bring in. Obviously, you've got a texture file. You may have a sort of grain or noisy effect that you've created. Maybe some concrete, granite, some wood designs maybe. All those sort of things. You could then add that 3D depth to the wood, bring it in like this and combine it as well. And of course, exactly the same as before, you can always go here, merge down, or just merge visible and just turn it into a new pixel layer without that actual effect there. And of course, you could still combine that as well if you wish. Hope you found this of interest. Bye.